Energy is in the air and the arena is popping because WWE NXT is ready to roll.
Introducing first from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, weighing 195 pounds, Tyson Kidd.
Welcome to WWE NXT, ladies and gentlemen. Tyson Kidd already in the ring, prepared for action. Byron Saxton alongside William Regal, and tonight, Mr. Regal, huge main event with tag team implications.
We certainly do, yes. We have the Samoan twin princes, the Usos, versus the highly regarded main event players of Darren Young and Titus O'Neil. Can't wait.
And his opponent being accompanied to the ring by Unico from Juarez, Mexico, weighing 230 pounds, Camacho.
Well, Camacho is the rugged, no-nonsense enforcer of Unico. Not the kind of guy you want to have an issue with.
Certainly not, no. We have a tale to tell about these two. Well, I have a tale to tell.
Do you?
Do you know why they're so close together?
Why is
They've
that?
spent their entire lives together. Unico was getting beaten up once in the barrio, and Camacho, being the stand-up fellow that he is, he dragged 6 young men off him as he was getting beaten, and let me tell you this, he bit one of the gentleman's eyeballs out.
Oh,
And they bonded a friendship, and they've been together ever since.
Oh, I suppose friendships come in strange ways, but
do,
nonetheless, there's an alliance there between Camacho and Unico. But, you know, I suppose Unico playing the role of inspirer for Camacho, who will be in singles competition here against Tyson Kidd.
They're inseparable. They're blood brothers. One of my favorites, though, Tyson Kidd. I mean, they're just an incredible young superstar here in NXT. Someone who just never fails to amaze me every time I watch him. He never stops trying to get better and learning his skills.
A plethora of credentials associated with Tyson Kidd, the last graduate from the famed Hart Dungeon, essentially an adopted son of the Hart family.
Yes, he certainly was, yes. And whenever he has any time off, he's back in Calgary and he's learning from either his, you know, I say it's his adopted uncle Bret Hart, or he's at Lance Storm's school. Anytime he can find any time to get better, he takes that time and he uses it to his greatest advantage.
Good agility by Tyson Kidd, an effective result. Tyson Kidd so quick, lightning quick.
So precise as well. Did you see the drop kick, the point of his foot right on the chin of Camacho? A lot of people hit people in the chest with drop kicks. They don't get the right effect. But that was a perfect drop kick.
And you can see the confidence on the face of Tyson Kidd. He knows where he is in that ring, and he knows why he needs to. Whoa, watch out. Saw Unico there trying to get involved. Tyson Kidd, nice roll up. Very close call, but Tyson Kidd very well aware of the possible threat outside the ring known as Unico.
Tyson Kidd's very ring savvy though, so he's always going to keep an eye on what's going on with Unico on the outside. What Camacho has to do is to try and cause some kind of distraction, so, well, here's me as an old villain talking, so that Unico can take advantage of it. I mean, I shouldn't probably be saying that, but that's what I would do if I was outside.
Well, nonetheless, here you see Camacho trying to utilize the advantage, but the quickness once again of Tyson Kidd coming back into his favor. Tyson's so well versed inside that ring. Whoa, cover, no.
No wasted motion at all with Tyson Kidd. He knows exactly where he's going with every maneuver and makes the most of it. Just the little nuances there, like the way he hooks his foot under the arm. It's just picture perfect, and that's the constant training from being a young child. He knows what he's doing in that ring. Nobody can take that away from him.
Certainly Camacho creating some separation. There's nothing technical so much as far as Camacho's style. Wow.
Why does he have to be technical when you're as strong as him, though?
You're absolutely right. Tyson Kidd once again, great counter, and Tyson Kidd so far is rolling very strong in this matchup. Oh, watch out. Looks like Hunico and Camacho had a meeting of the minds here. Tyson Kidd stuck in the middle.
Smart thing to do there by Tyson Kidd, get away from them as quickly as possible. A lot of less experienced competitors, as I nearly made a mistake of saying there, would have ended up in trouble there, but Tyson Kidd's too smart.
Wait, what's going on here? It looks like there's issues here between Camacho and Hunico, and it appears our official is telling Hunico, hey, you got to head to the back. And watch Tyson Kidd. Folks, Tyson Kidd is rolling the complexion of this match, perhaps taking a shift. We have to take a break, and we'll resume this match when we come back. Welcome back to NXT, folks. Tyson Kidd taking on Camacho, and just before the break, the complexion of the match took a very significant shift as our official decided Hunico's presence at ringside was a little too overbearing and decided that Hunico could no longer be ringside to quote-unquote support Camacho.
Why was that exactly? I mean, can you tell me? I'm sat watching this the same as you, and I didn't exactly see Hunico doing anything wrong there.
Watch out, nice roll up by Tyson Kidd. No, wait a minute. Maybe going for the lock.
Going for a sharpshooter. Tyson Kidd has so many submissions, and he's a submission specialist. You have to watch him at all times because he knows what he's going to do, and he just zeroes in on a body part and can torture you with it.
Watch. Oh! Face first goes Tyson Kidd. And now Camacho looking to turn his luck around in this match. Forcefully just driving the chest and rib cage.
Now Camacho has slowed the pace down to his pace. That's what he needs to do. When you have somebody as quick and as agile as Tyson Kidd,
Camacho hooking the leg here.
You have to try and ground them. And that's, I mean, Camacho's done a great job of that. Did you see the way that he pushed Tyson Kidd face first into the barrier and straight into the sternum? And I say it a lot, but you take the breath out of a competitor, that competitor becomes very weak very quickly.
Well, the bigger, stronger Camacho is certainly dictating the pace of this match at this very moment, and effectively, I might add.
Yes, and back to that sternum again, back to taking the wind power and constricting the lungs of Tyson Kidd.
Those Camacho, I'll tell you what, you got to believe the confidence is starting to build now.
One thing I don't think in any way, shape or form that Camacho lacks is confidence, though. He knows how strong he is, he knows how big he is, he knows how ferocious he can be. So now, it's, you know, look at this, picture perfect. Back to the sternum again, using the ring as a weapon. That's something, you know, a lot of competitors...
cover again.
A lot of competitors don't make the most of. That ring is, you know, every bit of it can be a weapon and you can use it to your advantage. Camacho's doing a great job of that.
If you're just joining us, folks, this match has taken several twists and turns. Mainly, Camacho's running buddy, Hunico, was ejected from ringside. And after a slow start, Camacho has turned things around in his favor.
Back to working on that midsection area, taking the breath out of Tyson Kidd. Very smart competing here.
What does that feel like, William Regal, when you have the bottom rope just driven into your throat?
It doesn't take a genius to figure out exactly how tight those ropes
are.
Watch
out, cover again. No.
So you can only imagine, you know, it's like being hit with a steel bar. It's incredibly, you know, tight. They have to be, otherwise, you know, now we have a well-applied stretch here. Look, back to taking the wind out of Tyson Kidd. Pulling on that rib, pulling on the intercostal area, making him fight for breath. It's what we call in the game scurfing. You drag somebody down and you just scurf them. You make them suffer, and that's what Camacho is doing to Tyson Kidd.
You cannot underestimate the ability of the low-key Camacho, who's certainly bringing the fight to Tyson Kidd. Back suplex, Tyson Kidd motionless. That might just be it right there, hook of the leg.
I don't know if you're noticing this, Byron, but we keep talking about going back to that midsection area, but just a simple thing like a leg drop there, knocking the, damaging the throat, making it far harder to breathe. It's all smart competing on the part of Camacho, making it very, very tough for someone in great condition like Tyson Kidd to keep up.
Kidd trying to turn things around and to no avail. Face first, center of the ring, legs hooked.
That's the thing about Tyson Kidd, though. He's got all that extra skill and tricks. Just the way that he moved his hips in that particular fashion there, he was able to kick out. A lot of other competitors wouldn't have known that extra skill that was needed there. That's what got him through that.
Do you think there's a sense of frustration starting to build for Camacho?
There's always a sense of frustration when you know you're doing your utmost to finish off a competitor and they keep going.
Oh. High risk, no avail for Camacho.
Probably a seriously damaged coccyx there, and anybody that's ever done that, and most people at home knows what that feels like at one time in their life. Incredibly painful to hit the coccyx bone.
Kidd now trying to recapture his wind here. That's one way to do it. Ooh.
So precise with those kicks, Tyson.
Tyson Kidd, hook of the leg. Just when you think Tyson Kidd is down and out, he somehow finds a way to dig deep.
But have you noticed, every one of the kicks is what I always say, the same expression, always on the button. Exactly, either on the chin or on the side of the ear where it does the most damage.
It's Tyson trying to change the momentum of this match.
There's an amazing display here by Tyson Kidd. Seeing the damage that's been done to him, just being able to continue. And he's finding that second wind and he's keeping going. But obviously now, look, I mean, the poor lad's ruptured his custard.
Oh, we call it high risk for a reason. And this time it was Tyson Kidd trying to go for it all. And Camacho well scouted.
Even the most highly conditioned athlete is going to be in peril now.
Because anybody's matchup right now, very dangerous spot for both these competitors.
Beautiful double arm suplex off the top rope there. Something that you don't see very often.
And that could be it. Lateral press.
But look at Tyson Kidd, the way that he's just, this determination to keep going. He will not let himself be beat.
Pure resiliency from Tyson Kidd. I mean, what does it take to beat Tyson Kidd? Camacho's got to be asking himself.
Obviously a great deal, and that's the nature of Tyson Kidd, just someone who will not stop in his quest to becoming a truly great superstar.
Tyson Kidd amazingly landing on his feet. Uh-oh. Ooh, wow.
Right in the temple.
Camacho appears dazed, and now can Tyson Kidd capitalize?
Looks like Camacho's equilibrium's gone.
Taking another chance. Yes. Blockbuster off the top, hook of the leg. And Camacho with the wherewithal to put his right foot on the bottom rope.
Yes, great ring awareness by Camacho there, because there's no way he could have kicked out of that, but smartly just being able to move that foot onto the rope.
Hold on, here we go.
Here we go. Is he going to go for the...
Maybe go for that sharpshooter.
Hang on a minute.
Who is that? McGillicuddy?
Michael McGillicuddy, is that who that is?
What was that about? And it cost him. Camacho hitting that DDT, covering Tyson Kidd, and he gets him.
Here is your winner, Camacho.
So the indirect assistance of Michael McGillicuddy provided the opening for Camacho to just earn one of the biggest victories of his career. Take a look at this. It looked like Tyson Kidd was well on his way to victory, and out of nowhere, Michael McGillicuddy provides the brief distraction, but brief enough for Camacho to capitalize and earn the pinfall.
Well, let's not forget that there's been a great history between Tyson Kidd and Michael McGillicuddy. This is something that's going to go on for the ages, believe me. I wasn't surprised, actually, once I saw Michael McGillicuddy. This is going to go on forever and ever.
Well, clearly unfinished business between Tyson Kidd and Michael McGillicuddy. Folks, still to come, which of these two premier tag teams will prove their dominance? We'll find out when the Usos take on the Prime Time Players.
I know you people hurting. I hurt too. But you don't have to hurt anymore.
What do you think it is that they're gonna do to something they cannot hurt? What do you think they'll do to someone who will not be afraid of them? I've been through hell, man. I know how cruel it can be. I know what it's like. I know what it does to a man. It changes him. It makes you stronger, man. I am strong now. Stronger than I ever was. It took away from me my ability to feel fear, to feel pain. I'm not afraid anymore. I no longer am able to feel the pains of man. What will they do when they discover they cannot hurt me? They cannot hurt me. What they gonna do, man? What you gonna do to something like me? What can they do? Run.
Hello, everybody. I'm NXT correspondent Matt Stryker, standing by with Justin Gabriel. Justin, first and foremost, welcome back.
Thanks, Matt.
You've recovered from a severe elbow injury, and now that you're back and ready to compete, what are your plans?
Well, you know, when I got hurt, I had some time off, and I got to go back home to South Africa, and that was awesome because I had a lot of time to think what's important and how to make a statement in this company, you know? And the way to do that is becoming a champion. And I'm a former 3-time tag team champion, and I want to get that feeling back again, Matt.
Well, you have the opportunity next week because you're in a main event against Heath Slater. Your thoughts?
Well, me and Heath, we have a lot of history. We go way back, you know, but it's time for me to step up and make a statement here.
Statement? What kind of statement are you gonna make? You got hair like a peacock? That your career is a failure. You hear that? Failure. I'm the one around here making statements, Gabriel. I'm on Raw week after week, embarrassing legends.
Hang on. Didn't they embarrass you?
You know what? Forget about Vader, Piper, Cyndi Lauper, that other chick, Sid, DDP. You know what? I'm the one-man band. Do you hear me? I'm climbing the charts around here.
You know what? Next week, you don't have to worry about getting embarrassed by a former WWE star. Because next week, you're gonna get embarrassed by me.
Get that out of my face.
This week's match is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Chicago, Illinois, weighing 217 pounds, Aiden English.
Oh, Aiden English, a young star here on NXT, certainly one of many looking to break out and turn some heads.
He certainly is, yes. Oh dear.
I can only imagine what you people must think of me, man. You don't understand me, but you will in time. In time, you'll understand exactly who I am, man. And in time, you'll understand exactly what I am capable of, man. And then, and finally then, you'll understand what I am. But for now, I am the angel in the dirt. My name is Bray Wyatt. Pleased to meet you, man.
Wow.
And his opponent from Lafayette, Louisiana, weighing 285 pounds, Bray Wyatt.
How do you evaluate a man like Bray Wyatt, William Regal?
I've seen and done a lot of hideous things in my life. I don't know how to explain this man. I mean, he truly gives me the collywobbles. I can't. There's just an aura of just pure violent venom that comes from him. I tried to have a conversation with him before, and he was talking recently. You heard about that preacher who was handling live rattlesnakes and got bitten and passed away, and Bray Wyatt was laughing about it, saying that he just didn't believe enough. And I didn't believe in what enough, he said. He didn't believe like I do. And I was trying to get to the bottom of it. I can't get to the bottom of the man.
My goodness, and look at the aggression of Bray Wyatt. I mean, this almost unorthodox style, this 300-pound superstar, but my goodness. And he's laughing to himself.
This man truly may be psychotic. I mean, there's no other way to put it. But he's a psychotic 300-pound man who has incredible athletic ability. And I know he was an amateur wrestling champion. So it's just pure danger. This man is pure danger. Look at him.
Third-generation athlete. I mean, you know it's in his DNA, but my goodness, I mean, just look at the expression on his face. What in the world is going on in the mind of Bray Wyatt?
He's very dangerous, and he's going to do some permanent damage to somebody. I mean, he's just balmy.
Watch out! My gosh, 300-pound freight train crashing into the body of Aiden English. And now he's dancing with him.
This is just sick.
What? My gosh!
Here is your winner, Bray Wyatt.
Destructive and devastating.
It doesn't matter what we think of Bray Wyatt, this young man is going to be a huge star.
Well, take a look at how it happened. Full speed ahead, 300 pounds. Bray Wyatt into a helpless Aiden English, and as if it couldn't get any more awkward, he dances with a clearly dazed English before almost proverbially kissing him goodnight. Look at this. My goodness. Unorthodox, unstable, but dominant. Well, folks, coming up, it's main event time. When two of the top tag teams in the landscape collide, the Usos go one-on-one with the Prime Time Players. We are coming to you from the beautiful campus of Full Sail University in Orlando, Florida. But this Sunday night, all eyes will turn to Phoenix, Arizona, and Money in the Bank. WWE Championship on the line, where CM Punk will defend against Daniel Bryan. The big question here is, where will the mindset of AJ be as she serves as the special guest referee in this highly anticipated matchup? WWE Championship ladder match comes down to four former WWE champions: The Big Show, Chris Jericho, Kane, and John Cena, all competing for a guaranteed contract opportunity at the WWE title. contract opportunity for the World Heavyweight Championship at stake. It all comes down to these men. Tensai, Dolph Ziggler, Cody Rhodes, Santino Marella, Damian Sandow, Christian, Tyson Kidd, and Sin Cara all vying for a chance. And last but certainly not least, the World Heavyweight Champion Sheamus will defend against Alberto Del Rio. We've seen Del Rio bring the brutality to Sheamus. Can Sheamus respond when it matters? That's this Sunday. But now, folks, we take things over to our broadcast colleague, Briley Pierce.
I'm Briley Pierce, and I am standing with NXT's newest superstar, Richie Steamboat. Richie, you look excited, and I can see why. There's a lot of opportunities around here for young talent, especially you, I imagine.
Briley, this is such an opportunity for everyone at NXT, but especially Richie Steamboat. I can't wait to show the NXT universe how good Richie Steamboat really is.
How good you are? How good you are? I've already proven that I'm better than you. I am the king of Africa, the African jewel, the South African era.
Hey! Somebody! Let him go! Let him go! Back up!
They are global entertainers, professionally trained athletes, WWE superstars, but they are not invincible. When they step into that ring, they take real risks and endure unimaginable pain. Broken bones, torn muscles, dislocations, separations. Be smart, be safe. Don't try this at home.
Thought to myself, how could I bring color to a colorless world? It's easy when you look like me. The Exfoliating Ugliness Tour. When I wake up in the morning, I see an ultra diva, an alpha female. I push the boundaries of beauty. I'm headed to NXT to rid the world of repulsive. The Exfoliating Ugliness Tour begins next week.
That is how you make an entrance. It's main event time here on NXT, and we are joined by the one and only WWE Hall of Famer, good old JR, Jim Ross.
The following tag team match is set for one fall. Already in the ring at a total combined weight of 479 pounds, Jimmy and Jay, the Usos.
Twin brothers of the same mother.
Yes.
By the way. It's great to see you, gentlemen. It's great to have everybody with us here on NXT, the new NXT. And this is going to be a big main event.
And their opponents at a total combined weight of 509 pounds, Darren Young, Titus O'Neil, the Primetime Players.
Well, some would describe the Primetime Players as loud, as brash, but what we've seen is that they're also able to back it up.
Yes, I mean, there's nothing wrong with being loud and brash or braggadocious if you can back it up, and they certainly can.
Two outstanding athletes are Young and O'Neil. And we're going to see who's going to start in now. Gentlemen, how do you discern Jimmy from Jay Uso?
Well, Jimmy's he's got a the way I do it, he's got a distinctive tattoo.
He's got a tattoo
on his right shoulder.
Yes.
That would work.
I keep asking him, Jim. I keep asking him to go out with my twin girls, you know, Doris and Gladys, but they won't go out with them for some reason or another.
Hold on, Darren Young has got to prepare his hair.
What's that all
for
about?
battle? He actually told me he spends about 2 hours in the barber every week just to make sure the hair is just right.
Well, you know, you wonder, you get two guys, the level of athletes that O'Neal and Young are they wasting time? We're going to find that out in this very important tag team matchup here.
So the last thing you want to do is waste time against a team like the Usos. I mean, with the heritage that they've got, growing up from being, you know, tiny boys, grappling on the rug in front of the fire with their family members who are all great wrestlers. Why would you want to mess about and waste any time? Sometimes I don't understand people.
Of course, the twin sons of Rikishi, as O'Neal and Young commiserate, console each other. Both teams need to win this match here on NXT to impress WWE officials up the ladder. It's all about competition here, and this should be an outstanding main event. I would say the Usos had the advantage because they've been a team longer, obviously.
Well, they've grown up together, as you said, both sons of WWE legend Rikishi. So, yeah, I mean, they know each other like the back of each other's hands.
Well, we know they spent the first 9 months of their life together.
That's a good point.
There's a cover.
Can you imagine just growing up in a dynasty, really, of a family of wrestlers and the constant tricks that you're learning and the strategy that's taught over dinner?
A dynasty.
Yes.
Or a dynasty.
Well, a dynasty, yes.
Either one.
Either one, yes.
Or either one.
Yes. But just the strategy that's talking is just sat around having family meals and stuff. Nothing would be talked about other than wrestling. And so they're going to have that extra sort of skill that most teams don't have together.
Titus O'Neal got the tag. Tried a headbutt that was not productive, quite frankly, to put it cut to the chase.
Titus O'Neal, a great man in the Florida area for charities, you know. Did you know? You obviously know this.
He may need some charity right now.
I'm sure that most fans listening could care less about Florida or the charity at a cover.
Well, he's always telling me, he does nothing but tell me about that he's the patron saint of this charity or that charity. I think it was the Save the Donkey Association this week.
Nice power slam by Jey Uso on Darren Young, and O'Neal and Young are having a go of it, as Mr. William Regal would say, here in the early going. The Usos with the advantage.
Well, it would appear that the players are going to regroup, and he's got the pick.
And I don't think that Young and O'Neal are going to appreciate being, quite frankly, made fun of, but perhaps they deserve it.
Well, yes, I mean, if you're going to come out here and waste time messing around with your hair, you deserve to be ridiculed.
Oh.
So, well, Darren Young was in the ring for a moment. And look at this, teamwork.
Oh, my.
High risk, high reward, as the Usos picked up the 7-10 split with their fighting Samoan heritage.
Folks, Usos are on top. We've got to take a break, but this main event match continues. Welcome back to WWE NXT. This is our main event. The Usos taking on the Primetime Players, and so far the Usos have turned this match into their favor in the early going.
As I was saying before the break, Jim, we know that the Samoans, they all make incredibly great wrestlers and great rugby players. They've just got, they're like superhumans. They've got that incredible conditioning and that resilience and that just extra something special.
There is something special about the competitive nature, the athleticism of the Samoan athlete. We've seen it in the National Football League, guys like Troy Polamalu and others. But Jimmy and Jey Uso in this tag team matchup have seemingly gotten in the head of O'Neal and Young. And that one is to the face, that shot.
Oh.
And then finally, a little retaliation there by Titus O'Neal, a massive man. a huge individual, and now showing the aggression, the strength, and the mean streak as Uso is isolated in the corner of the prime time players.
All it takes is one brief opening, an opportunity. That's exactly what you saw with Titus O'Neil and Darren Young, and now you see the momentum starting to swing on the side of the primetime players.
Actually impressing me here, being a tag team competitor myself for many years, just watching the way that they've done the right thing. Take down your opponent, keep him in your side of the ring, and so your partner is in arm's reach at all time in case you get in any kind of jeopardy. That's the smart thing to do.
The other point is that if we do assume that the Usos are quicker, one way to destroy that advantage is to work on the legs, focus on the legs. That's exactly what O'Neil and Young have done. O'Neil very strategic in making sure that O'Neil's body was between the Uso brothers. No tag made, and right back into Danger Town. Primetime players have now isolated one of the Usos. I believe that to be Jay, or is that Jimmy? Or does it matter?
Jimmy, I believe.
Well, the point is Darren Young and Titus O'Neil had this match in their favor.
But as you said, back to that leg again. Just that little push on the ankle makes that all the more painful. Very smart there by Darren Young. Darren Young, as he calls himself, Mr. No Days Off, and that is true. He's always trying to get better.
Well, at least he's not working out. He's in the barber shop, as Byron.
Well, that is his one downfall, yes.
He noted earlier. Opportunity here for the tag for the Usos. And wow, look at the. Well, you might not agree with the strategy of Darren Young, but he prevented the tag, and that's really the bottom line here.
Great awareness by Darren Young, knowing where he was.
And the cradle and a roll-up. Got us a near fall and a drop kick strategically placed right to the patella. That would be the kneecap and to the quadricep, thigh muscle. Look at the far leg. Referee's hand coming down. Uso able to kick out.
Step over toe hold there.
I like it.
Very nice.
Now we are seeing some great strategy, some great mat wrestling by the primetime players. They have isolated the left leg of Jimmy Uso. That is the focus of this young upcoming tag team.
And it goes back to the reputation these two men have created for themselves, Darren Young and Titus O'Neil. A lot of folks don't appreciate, their personalities or how boisterous they are, but in a situation like this, they are backing it up. They are proving they can talk the talk and walk the walk.
Well, in the land of sports entertainment, talking is so important. Communication, so important. But as William Regal pointed out earlier, you really got to be able to back it up. And thus far, at least in the last few moments, we're seeing O'Neil and Young in the ring now, backing it up. They've done a lot of talking. They've done a lot of posturing and posing. But now they have grounded their adversary.
They're doing a great job of keeping him down, keeping Jimmy down. And as you said, keep going back to that leg, back to the knee. And what were we going to see here now?
The tag was made. O'Neil legal. Wow. Uso countered. O'Neil tries to stop the tag and does. A great first step explosion by Titus O'Neil.
Just shows you the agility of Titus O'Neil. Despite his size, he understands what's at stake and how important it is to keep Jimmy Uso from tagging in his partner.
You can tell for the short time that Titus O'Neil and Darren Young have been actually teaming together, that they've been obviously watching some of the great tag teams from history. You can just tell that the way that they're competing together, they're just the strategy that they've got. They've got a game plan and they're sticking to it.
O'Neil and Young have a great upside. There's no doubt about that. They're getting better each and every outing, and so are the Usos, and high elevation on Titus O'Neil.
Oh, this is the opportunity the Usos need.
Can Jimmy make the tag? And does. Tag was made, and now Jey Uso with a fresh set of legs on his adversary, Darren Young. Usos lighting it up. Quicken the pace. O'Neil down. Nice Samoan drop on Darren Young by Jey Uso.
Jey Uso's had a lot of time to release his frustration.
Ooh. Full speed ahead. Hooking the leg, could it be? And, well, we're not going to know because O'Neil breaks up the tag. Hard shot. And now Jey Uso, or Jimmy, bringing Titus O'Neil outside for naught.
Titus making the smart move of going back to that leg of Jimmy, though, taking him down.
The two legal men are in this corner near on your left side of your screen, and the official dealing with one Uso. Oh, look at this. Look at this tandem offense.
Titus and Darren taking advantage of the official not seeing the action.
The hook of the leg.
And it's counted.
Here are your winners, the Prime Time Players.
Well, once the primetime players got focused, isolated a leg, they were very dominant. This team's going to get better and better because they're too good an athlete, they're too smart to not get better. They're going to become a dominant team, and I think the Usos are this close.
Well, you see the primetime players taking advantage of an opportunity. The official was distracted, and Titus O'Neil and Darren Young doing what they do best. Watch out, Titus.
Well, the referee was just doing his job.
Exactly, yes, the referee's only got one set of eyes.
And O'Neil and Young took advantage of the moment.
A tremendous win there for the primetime players. The Usos, they will go back and they will study this and they will make sure it doesn't happen again, because that's the kind of team that they are.
Well, the primetime players are all about making an impact and making an impression, and tonight they have done just that.